How long are you going to suffer with dry, brittle, slow-growing hair? Hopefully after we get done talking today, you won't have to suffer with that any longer. This is Dr. Dwella Mote-Nelson, your healthy scalp specialist. So let's talk about how we can get your hair to grow, be healthy, and also very, very strong. One thing we want to think about is the building block for hair is protein. If you have a diet where you're not getting enough protein in your diet, it's very, very possible that your hair will become brittle. It will start to break and get very dry. So you want to make sure that you're eating protein. Potentially eating protein at each meal would be great. And some sources of protein, of course, you have meat, but there's also nuts. There's also different types of nut butters that you can use. Of course, when we say meats, we mean beef, chicken, fish, shellfish. All those things are going to add protein to your diet. There's different kinds of beans and legumes that also can add protein to your diet. So just be adventurous when you start to look at how you can add more protein to your diet. There are dark leafy greens like spinach also has an amount of protein in those as well. So make sure that you are trying to have enough protein into your diet, potentially at every meal, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, adding some type of food that has protein in it. So that would be number one, because protein is a building block when it comes to growing hair and keeping hair healthy and strong and keeping it from breaking. The second thing we want to consider is hydration. Not just hydration for the body, but also hydration for the hair. So that translates. So if you're drinking enough water, your hair is going to feel more hydrated. Your hair is going to be more hydrated because you're drinking enough water. So dehydration is the enemy of nice, healthy, growing hair. So we want to make sure that we're hydrated. The third thing we will mention is taking a supplement. Many hair, skin, and nail vitamins, they'll have vitamin E, vitamin C, vitamin A. All those vitamins are fantastic for growing your hair and keeping your scalp healthy. Also, many of them will have biotin added. Biotin helps you also to keep your hair strong and keep it from breaking off. And we want to have that supplement basically as an addition to a healthy diet and making sure that you're hydrated. Another thing we'll mention is you want to stay away from, if you can, potentially stay away from heat styling. Blow drying 2 or 3 times a week, using a hot tool for styling. Those things all dehydrate the hair and they do cause the hair to break over time. So if you can possibly maybe twist your hair and let it air dry, or either do some type of style where you don't have to add heat to your hair as often. I definitely don't recommend using heat styling very often because we know that it makes the hair very dry and eventually it will cause the hair to start to break. Another thing I'll mention here is that if you can, when you want to try to get some fatty acids into your diet if possible. And some things that we want to use for trying to get those fatty acids in is salmon. I love eating salmon. So if possible, if you're not allergic, of course, if you could eat a piece of salmon once a week, that will introduce those fatty acids that your hair will definitely benefit from having those fatty acids in your diet. And then the last thing is you want to make sure that you're being gentle. When you're styling your hair or when you're massaging your hair, make sure that you're being gentle. If you're putting it up into a ponytail or you're doing some type of style or braiding it, you want to make sure that you're being very gentle with your hair and also not pulling or tugging on the scalp. The same when you're doing a scalp massage. You want to make sure that you're being very gentle when you're massaging your scalp to increase your blood flow. And all of these things working together will help you to be able to have healthy growing hair. Healthy growing hair is our goal here, not the length of the hair, not looking at if one person has curly hair or straight hair. These methods that we're sharing can be used across different demographics with any type of hair. But our focus here is really to help you to have healthy growing hair. Hope that this was helpful to you. This is Dr. Dwella Mote-Nelson, your healthy scalp specialist.